Jesus Christ, look at this mess. You know, they say how messy your room is how messy your life is. Yeah, and that's a nice analogy. Makes me feel good every day.
You know what else also is a mess? Destiny 2. It's kind of strange how this weird kind of RPG-esque shooter is. And I don't know where to begin with this game, really. It's a very large game. There's a lot to it. But, I don't know. I want to talk about a couple of things about this game. More just the stuff that I do in the game. And I may have a few gripes, but I'm just going to kind of explain the game a little bit. And just get a little feel for it. I mean, it's just another first-person shooter, right? You just shoot things. But sadly, there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to this game. So I guess I'm just going to put this puppy in and see where it goes.
So here is the social hub where most of the vendors are. It's called the Tower. Now, to be clear, I won't go into any lore about this game due to the general lack of knowledge about it, and basically it's just way too complicated to get into. Our first vendor is Tess Evers. She's the cosmetic vendor. She's the only person that will actually take any real world money through a currency called silver. There's other currency she uses, like bright dust at the bottom left, and that is where you basically buy free stuff, and it cycles weekly. Next is the Postmaster. As you play the game, you gain loot, and with that you may leave some loot behind. The Postmaster stores your lost loot until you collect it. Simple. Most vendors have bounties. These are equivalent to daily challenges in Call of Duty. Some vendors will have 2 weekly bounties and 4 daily bounties. You can roll for a basic random bounty that gives you a very minor reward. Zavala here has that for the Vanguard game type. More on that later. Next is Banshee. His bounties are based on weapon kills to earn upgrade materials for your armor and weapons. Master Rahul decrypts certain legendary engrams, and that's basically that for him unless you want shaders. Now walk your happy ass to the lower deck to the clan vendor Hawthorne. She has 4 clan bounties to level up your clan. She's useless if you don't have friends. Like completely, utterly fucking useless. After that, last but not least is Drifter. In the fucking basement of the tower is where he resides, and he has Gambit bounties. Gambit is the PvEVP mode. Again, more on that later. As a bonus, we have the Spider on the Tangled Shore. He has upgrade materials for legendary shards, and you can get legendary shards by dismantling legendary and exotic gear. Sadly, the season vendor Crow is invisible.
See, the reason why the Crow is invisible is because you have to buy the season pass. And I don't mean like a season pass that gives you 4 DLCs throughout the year. I mean a season pass like a battle pass like Fortnite. Once you buy this season pass, you'll unlock the vendor Crow, who's actually Aldrin from the Forsaken DLC. After you kill Aldrin in the Forsaken DLC, he gets revived by a ghost and goes under the alias called Crow. He doesn't have his memories as Aldrin, as far as I know, and he just knows he's done some bad things in the past as Aldrin, but he doesn't know what they are. As far as I know, I could be wrong, but yeah, so there's some bonus bounties that you cannot access because you don't have this season pass, which is really fucking dumb. But whatever, it doesn't really fucking matter if you don't have the season pass, and why are you even playing the game? You're not even getting cosmetics or anything, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
Now on with the Vanguard game mode, specifically called Strikes. I can explain this very simply. It's a linear mission with a boss fight at the end, and you collect loot after killing the boss. Do this 3 times with a certain subclass each week, and you get better loot. Yay. This makes the game seem like a chore more than a fun thing to do. Nightfall, on the other hand, is a strike, but with separate difficulties, and there is scoring. And if you reach 100,000 points, you get bonus rewards. Again, yay. Not very exciting. Moving on to PvP, and let's just say the Crucible, which is the PvP mode, is not that fun. It's a hard enough life for me. Now I gotta play Destiny's goddamn PvP. Why won't God help me? It's a hard enough life. God, I hate this game! Alright, moving on to the superior game type after that fucking tragedy of a game type. Gambit. Yeah, everyone likes Gambit. There's a lot to explain here, so strap in. The game will start out with a cutscene that decides the faction you will face. The host or announcer is Drifter. This is his game type, and well deserving of it too. In this game type, all the enemies drop motes. You bank the motes, and the bank thing, I guess, you can bank the motes to send blocker enemies to block the enemy's team's motes, or their bank thing. Bank 5 for a small blocker, 10 for a medium, and 15 for a large. Send 2 blockers at the same time, and you start draining their bank. As you kill enemies every 25 motes you bank, you can invade the enemy team. It's best to do this when the enemy team has not banked their motes yet. You can tell by the white bar to see how many motes the players are holding. It doesn't tell you the exact number, but if that white bar is pretty big, you want to invade. Once you reach 100 motes, you can summon a prime evil, or a boss. It will spawn with 2 envoys, or envoys. I don't know how to say it, which are wizards. Killing them will give you damage boost to the boss. If you die to an invader during this, it heals the boss, but you don't lose your damage bonus. So it's important you kill those envoys. Once you drain the boss's health, it's game over. Each week, for Season 12, you can do a dungeon called the Prophecy Dungeon to get more gear. This dungeon has a very annoying gimmick though. There are knights that you have to kill throughout it. And if you kill them in the light, they drop light modes. And if you kill them in the dark, they drop dark modes. You have to do this the entire dungeon. But let's start from the beginning. I fucking hate this dungeon. Once you collect 5 modes of light or dark, you get a ball of light or dark. You can take it to a weird pool of light, or dark, I guess, and press right trigger to bank it. Now, you get through the first 2 areas and you face a boss. Kill the knights and bank the motes, and you go to the damage phase. If you don't kill him, you have to go to the bank phase again. We kill him using swords, so we 1-phase him. Next is the sand area. We go to this chest to get bonus rewards. You have to wait until everyone is here because it goes away after you open it. It's fucking dumb. I hate that. Anyway, find, I think, 3 groups of blights, which are these balls of darkness. And then you go to the next area, which is the rotating room. You do the light gimmick, but here is a twist. There's Tolan. He is a ball of light. He will float above a pool of light or darkness, depending which one he is above. That's the type of motes you have to get. Do this a few times, I think 5, maybe it's 6, I don't fucking know. You face a pair of bosses and you complete the area. Go back through the sand area and you will go to the heaven or hell area, the most beautiful area in the game. You enter a pink spiral and then you're just greeted with a highway of scarves. I think. Yeah, I think scarves. Drive on these, but do it very carefully. This is a dark zone. This has been a feature I neglected to explain, by the way. If you die in a dark zone, you can't respawn for a good bit. For strikes, it's 15 seconds, but for here, it's like 45. So yeah, don't die. If all 3 of you die, by the way, it's game over, and you go back to the last checkpoint. Reach the bottom and take a grav lift that doesn't really work half the time, and will probably kill you 9 times out of 10. And then fight the German army of thralls. Then final boss is in another rotating room. Again, do the moat bullshit again, but only this time it's 20 times harder because the boss cloned himself in front of every pool of light or darkness and shooting the fucking shotgun constantly. Bank 3 sets of moats and then damage phase. Here you shoot him and the snipers are protecting him. He has 7 million health, so this takes a couple tries. In this phase, you have to stay near the boss or else you get a status effect that will kill you. If the status effect stacks up to 10, you die, and you are out of the damage phase. He also shoots a teleporter that sends you to the beginning of the room, which is bad because he progressively moves down the room, and again, the status effect will just kill you at this point. But after you kill him, you win, and you have to do it next week. Again, and again, and again, and again. Okay, my final thoughts. Destiny 2 is a game, and though I just explained mostly the stuff that I do in the game, there's a whole lot more to do in the game. You can get exotic gear, grind to get a higher level, and do the fucking raid. But honestly, I don't enjoy this game as much as my friends. It's just way too grindy, and at the end of it, each season raises the level cap, making it easier to level up, so it doesn't really matter unless you want to do the in-season things like the raid or nightfalls, or even the dungeons. The game is beautiful, and Bungie, who previously made the Halo games, has improved visually of how games should look. Although it doesn't look better than Halo 4, but definitely looks better than Halo 5. But compared to previous games they made visually, this game is beautiful. But the score is something left to desire. I don't like the game's music, and compared to Halo 3, the music sucks. I have to turn it off, and I usually just play Kingdom Hearts 3's soundtrack over it, which fits surprisingly. Just take a listen. What lacks in score, it delivers in story, and since the Forsaken DLC, the story is actually interesting and engaging. It just sucks it takes losing the best character the game had to offer to push in that direction, and if I remember this right, it's a huge change from Destiny 1 where most of the lore was on Bungie.net. Anyways, but compared to Borderlands, I would run an area of Borderlands way before running 3 strikes or doing a nightfall. The stuff in Destiny feels like a chore, not a fun thing to do. Think about it. It's a weekly thing you do to earn something. It's a literal chore. I'm just hoping the story is just good in the future and actually compelling like it has been lately.
Yeah, that's about it with Destiny. I mean, look at this game. It's just a grind. It's just a fucking grind. It's always been a grind. And you be having people who's like season level 999 plus, and you'll be sitting there like, I can't even get past 50. I play this game as often as you do. I don't see what you're doing. I don't know if you're getting more bounties than me. But it's a fucking chore. This game is just a chore. Everything I explained to you, you have to do every week. Every week, you do those things. And, like, it's not even fun. Like I said, it's a chore. I hate it. It doesn't matter. And I don't know, dude. Like, I'm just fed up with it. This game sucks dick. I'm being honest. This game just sucks. It just sucks. You have those people who will play it just to play with their friends like me, or you'll have people who play religiously, and it's like their fucking second religion. So, like, this game, you have to have a certain taste for it. You just have to have a certain taste for it. Fuck that game. I'm done. See you, bye. I see you, Marine Spartans, in the next mission. I'm freaking done with this shit. I'm done!